Okay, what other topics? I can show a picture of my comic book. Hey.
Hi.
Welcome to TEATOX. My name's Herb III, and y'all know my partner in crime, Matt. And some of you may even know my girlfriend, Bailey.
Hi, Bailey.
Hi. Glad to be back.
Yeah. TEATOX is a show where we drink tea, Gong Fu Cha style, and talk about other topics. Speaking of which, what's on the schedule for today there, Matt?
Well, we're going to be talking about comic books, like the man-children we are. You ever get that holiday stress? We got some of that. We're going to be talking about that. We're gonna be talking about a movie called StarCrash with Mr. Hasselhoff, I believe. Vancouver, and where Daniel resides, our tea godfather. And we're gonna be doing dinosaurs. We'll be talking about dinosaurs, and we'll be doing a quiz on which dinosaur we are. I have a feeling I know what I am. No, I don't at all. I just said that. But yeah, but most importantly, this is a tea video thing.
Tea talking video?
What kind of tea do we got? I'm excited. It's a mystery tea.
Mystery tea.
I'm also very excited, I'm just saying.
Really? Very excited. I'm excited too. If you guys are watching, I was rinsing this teapot with hot water to wake up the teapot. This is purple clay teapot, but it's called Duani, which is the green or yellow peachy versions of the purple clay. Sisha, purple clay, Yixing pot.
Cool.
And today's tea is kind of special. I quite like it. Today's tea is 2019 Spring Morning from Yunnan Sourcing.
Nice.
And it's a raw pu'er or
Yeah.
sheng cha.
My favorite.
Mine too. I'm just going to squeeze this little thingy down here so the water can drain. There we go. And it's made entirely of Huang Pian. I don't think we've drinking Huang Pian on this show yet. So Huang Pian is more mature leaves. Now when they're picking raw pu'er, it's normally one bud, two leaves that they pick. And sometimes there'll be bigger leaves because they'll leave the plant growing a little longer on the new growth shoots. Or sometimes they'll pick, they'll be going fast and maybe pick like one bud, 4 leaves, one bud, 5 leaves. Then when you take the tea back to the factory and you do the kill green on the shashing, it's called shashing or kill green on these big walks, it wilts the leaves and partially kills all the green, but it keeps the enzymes alive. After they do that, the bigger, more mature leaves won't have done the same thing as the young tender stuff that they were picking. So you'll see these big yellow leaves, and they normally get picked out. And it will influence the taste of the tea and maybe change it. So it gets picked out and separated, and they use the 1 bud, 2 leaf, small stuff to make the pu'er cakes, and then you got this loose Huang Pian. Some people drink it, they probably drink it amongst themselves, sell it cheaper normally, and it's not really considered a great thing yet, right? It's not really seen as everyone should drink it, but there's certain cases where you're using really high quality tea to make your pu'er cakes, and then you got this really high quality Huang Pian left over. And this is one of those examples. This is from Jinggu, and it's either Gushu, which is ancient tree, or wild forest tea. So it's a blend of either of those two things, and this is the Huang Pian of that. So it's, really spectacular tea, and the bigger leaves of it.
So Jinggu is the mountain range?
Jinggu is...
Or the mountain?
or a region.
The region, okay.
A region. I think it
Nice.
doubles as Samao
Oh,
in China, so it has a few names. I think it, yeah, not 100% sure, but it's one of the sections, like Jingu.
Yunnan.
In Yunnan. So
Okay.
it'd be like Jingu,
Cool.
Lingsong, Manghai, Yiwu. Those are like the 4 sections that I know. There's probably a lot more, and they're probably like, I don't know enough about it yet, but I do know that's where this comes from. And yeah, it's Gushu material. This cake was super affordable.
Oh,
That's
nice.
another thing. So we're getting over 100-year-old tea plant material for about $30 Canadian, that cake, which
Oh,
works
really?
out to $1 to fill this pot of ancient trees, right?
Nice.
Or super wild like forest tea.
So what do Gushu Pu'ers usually go for?
Not that, bro. If it's in a place where people like it and it's the first pick spring Gushu anywhere from like minimum 100 to 500
Oh, wow.
bucks. Brand new tea,
Nice.
right? So yeah, $100 would be a $3 pot,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
$200 would be a $6 pot. $300 would be a $9 pot. $400 would be a, we're doing my math here, 12. So $15, it could get to up to 15
Yeah.
or more dollars just to have a session of tea with some friends.
Yeah.
So yeah, it gets close to the Starbucks prices for frappuccinos.
Yeah.
Whatever. We don't do that.
Well, I'm
Anyways,
excited.
Let's
yeah.
rinse this tea. So
do it up.
so I guess for you two here, the question would be: is this tea? You know, is this good shengcha? Could this
Okay.
work into your guys' diet, considered to be good tea?
Okay.
For me, I like it, but you know, we're all different.
I mean, I've been sucking down the raw Pu'er lately.
That's
It's my favorite now. Raw
Really?
Pu'er. Yeah. Overripe.
Really?
Yeah.
I
yeah.
never thought I would
I
hear
don't know.
that.
It's the chi. It's the chi. It's the aftertaste in the mouth. I can't get enough of
the
it.
Guigan.
Going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, what makes you pick raw over ripe for the chi itself?
It's just the feeling I get after, you know, or how it energizes me. That's mainly what I kind of like. And I've been drinking it after work. I got to kind of rush home now because I don't want to drink tea too late and be up all night, right? So, but I'm getting really excited, you know, I'm excited. I'm like, oh, I get to drink tea, right? And I get all my stuff ready and just a raw Pu'er after a hard day's work, you know.
Nice. What time are you drinking it?
Around 4 or 5.
Oh, really?
So,
Ooh.
yeah, 4 or 5.
Give the little pot a little sniffer
Sniff
room.
there. Smells like tea.
Yeah.
Smell like tea.
Smells like a nice raw.
Yeah.
And so you are starting to become fairly familiar with Jingu area tea, Yiwu tea,
Yiwu,
because you have a
yeah.
Yiwu cake.
I've been daily drinking the Yiwu cake from
So that
2013.
Yeah, that
So-
Yiwu cake is probably plantation tea, but since it's coming from Yiwu, it's still, people buy it because the terroir in Yiwu imparts a flavor on the tea that people recognize and love.
Yeah.
This
I
is
love it.
Jingu. This will probably have Jingu flavors.
Sweet.
Um,
Smells delicious.
I'm wondering. So you said this could be either Gushu trees.
It's
Oh.
both.
Oh.
It's a blend of both.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And so this tea, it's a 2019 cake, but this tea was actually picked in 2018. And then, awesomely enough, the tea was actually sweated. The dried matcha, or the pre-cake Pu'er, was actually sweated for a year before pressed into cakes. So able to change and become more complex.
Right.
Now, these bigger leaves are kind of similar to the leaves that get picked for oolongs and stuff too. So some teas out there, they're only going for the more mature leaves. But in the Pu'er game, there's so many different variables. And
Great.
yeah, I believe, personally I believe this $30 cake in 20 years, you'll hear about Gushu Huangping cake, and it's not going to be no $30. More people are going to wake up to this style of tea, and that's probably going to be unobtainable. We're going to get excited in 20 years or so when we can find like
Yeah.
Gushu that we can actually buy. Like, I swear, if not 20 years, 30 years for sure.
Be cool.
So it'll be. You think it's gonna be almost like thrift clothing now? Like back in the day, thrift clothing was like garbage, like trash, right? Now people pay a lot of money.
Oh, for the Huang. Yeah. Oh, it'll be vintage, expensive vintage.
Right. Yeah.
Shishi. Good.
It smells really good. Like I can smell it just from here.
Does that taste like raw pu'er to you?
It's definitely raw pu'er.
Definitely.
It's light. I don't know, maybe you just did a light brew?
I did a light brew because it does have a lot of astringent flavors, but it'll leave a really good oil. It's also called Spring Morning, so it has lighter.
Oh yeah, I'm getting definitely some apricot. And just like, I'm thinking like kind of like raw bamboo.
Yep.
Almost, you know. I'm getting that kind of taste. Like some Chinese dishes or Asian dishes, they put bamboo in.
Yeah.
That's what it kind of reminds me of, right? So, what about you?
I'm getting honey.
Yeah.
I'm getting hay. I'm getting, it's sticky in the mouth. It's drying. A little perfumey. There is fruits going on. I want to say it's like a lychee.
It's almost like a dragon fruit.
A dragon fruit,
like
for
that
sure.
subtlety.
Like it actually, tastes like dragon fruit and honey and pine.
Yeah.
And
Also,
bamboo. And a little seaweed.
I'm a little taste handicapped because I had
Tasty cat.
I had a big coffee with creamer in it.
This is where the
Maybe
boo
like
should be heard.
Over.
We've heard the boo before. It should be
Matt, put
heard.
in booze here.
Yeah. Enter booze now. Continue.
Fine.
Tim Horton, can you please continue?
I needed to wake up. But yeah. Hey, I stopped myself from having those Justin Bieber Timbits. Okay? So I just settled with the coffee. I passed the Timbits in the mall. And they're all they look great. Man. I'm not a huge Justin Bieber fan, but Timbits look great. Try not to eat that stuff for Christmas.
Smart.
Yeah, but it's the coffee really kind of waxed my taste buds out. But it was like about an hour and a half ago. So
That's pretty good. Yeah, coffee can be really.
it just bleaches your mouth, you know. Kind of. So
Leaves a really yucky taste too. That was like one of my main things I didn't like about coffee was the after breath, aftertaste.
strong.
Yeah. Almost like cigarettes, but not. Cigarettes are way worse. Please,
But that's
quit smoking.
staleness.
I like the color of that too. I mean, it looks good.
I was thinking the
yeah.
same.
And speaking of looks, you might look at us and see we're in glorious 4K.
4K.
Right now. We've moved up.
Yeah.
The other camera broke. If you're watching, cliffhanger from last week's episode, the camera broke. So I begged, borrowed, and stealed this camera. And
What's your mom's name?
Anne.
Anne.
From Anne, my
Shout
mom.
out Anne.
Yeah.
Shout out to Anne. Thank you.
She explicitly told me, bring it back with charged batteries.
Oh,
And I
nice.
said, yes, ma'am. So, yeah. Yeah, this one's definitely a stronger brew. Definitely more astringency, that dryness.
But it's not overwhelming. Like, not overpowering.
No,
Definitely.
and that fits the description of what the idea behind this tea kind of was.
I really like it for that reason because astringency and bitterness. Like, that's my least favorite. That's why raw isn't like my favorite.
Yeah.
But if that wasn't there, it would I'd probably be drinking it as much as ripe.
I totally get that, for sure. It can be overwhelming and leave that bitterness. I think this is almost like a good intro into raws.
Yeah.
You
This is
know?
what I've heard.
So, and so what kind of taste flavors are those yellow leaves leaving, though? Do you think?
Well, that's all of it, isn't it? Or no?
Yeah, that's what this is.
It's a blend, right?
So I have two Huang Pians. I have one that's 20 years old and this one, both from Scott from United Sourcing. They both have a Play-Doh-y vibe. They both have an astringency that is a little different.
Yeah.
So I think it tastes similar to raw pu'er. It might be a little smoother, a little lighter going down, but then it has kind of a different type of grab slightly.
Yeah.
It's like lemon. The way that
Yeah.
lemon reacts in your mouth.
Citrusy.
I got that like
Yeah.
cheek thing.
That's good.
So, and now another cool thing about frickin' Scott from Yunnan Sourcing.
Among thousands of things.
Yeah.
Shout out
Is
Scott.
thousands of things just in general.
we
It's
love
like
him.
1,000 teas. And he's passionate about producing affordable tea. That's a really cool thing. And also passionate about testing all his tea for any sort of contaminants. So I think this one was for sure at least tested for 119 regular possible pesticide, possible fertilizer contaminants. But since 2020, he's gone even farther. Now it's like 400. Like he tests for everything. So this is super organic, super vintage. You could call it a heritage product because the trees are so old, right? It's just a beautiful thing with a beautiful culture of tea brewing, and on a daily basis, I feel like I'm in the lap of luxury. Because these tastes, once you start to get used to it and start to understand it, you then get floored by the fact that you're drinking like luxury product daily, right? It's insane.
It's true.
Right?
It's true.
Yeah.
And then you feel good.
Yeah, I feel pretty grateful right now. Like that feeling. That's the chi that I have right now.
Chi.
Grateful.
Where's the chi? Where's the chi? Do we know where the chi's going? I'm feeling it right here, yeah.
I got it in the chest.
It's in my face.
Oh yeah, I got it a little bit right here.
Yeah, it's kind of my cheeks.
Definitely, well, yeah, inside my cheeks, but also like right here
Cheeks.
and a little here.
See, none of us have really studied too much of Chinese medicine, but just even indulging in this sort of practice is slowly waking us up to that philosophy.
Well, I used to take acupuncture.
Oh.
Get acupuncture. You guys ever had that?
I've had a few. They put some needles in my head. I wasn't like totally.
In your head?
Yeah, it's a weird trip.
Oh.
And back then I was even more nervous, so I liked moving, and that's like a practice where it's not cool to move.
Oh yeah.
So it was hard for me.
Yeah, that I always get the fear. Did you guys ever see that Final Destination?
Yeah, that's why.
Oh my
really
god,
done it.
it's the worst. Yeah, he like, there's a fire or something, and he can't get out of there because he's got all the
I think
needles.
it's an earthquake, then a fire,
Oh
then
my
he falls.
That's
Jeez.
awesome.
I don't know who comes up with those. Like, can you imagine like the little troll man being like, yeah, and then the human, we'll get a human head over there. And like, it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks to that movie, the first time I rode a SkyTrain, I was like the whole time just like holding on to everything, and it was like a 20-minute SkyTrain ride too, and I was like, I can't. And then I got off and I was like, okay, it's actually not like Final Destination.
It sounds like almost like a gumball flavor. It almost feels like chewing a gumball.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing, but that's kind of what I'm getting right now.
You mean
Like
kind
a
of?
lemon one.
Yeah, it leaves that kind of taste of like gum you've kind of chewed a little too
Yeah.
much.
And it's a little sandy, like
Yeah.
a gumball crunch.
I like it.
It's
Like a
super
lot.
nice.
Oh, it reminds me of dandelions too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
I could drink this every day. Would you rate it a daily drinker?
Yeah, I think so.
I like drinking tons of tea all the time. I think it's safe enough.
Well, in your daily tea rotation.
It's 100% in my rotation. I will caution that this on an empty stomach might get you, but
Yeah.
it's also really old and wild tea trees, so it's powerful. You can always dial back the amount of tea you use and dial back the temperature and the steep times, and all those things will make it easier to get through, right?
For
But
sure.
it's gong fu cha, so tea with great skill, and it's not just serving and not just looking cool while doing it, but it's also learning how to brew so you're comfortable.
Yeah.
Totally.
And even drink like that, because
Yeah.
it's not just to be like slammed all the time.
I've been trying to
right?
go a lot slower,
Yeah.
and it's been adding to my practice.
I'm a tea slammer too. I mean, I just, But yeah, it's not about that at all.
Yeah. So recently, just this past month, it's been really hard for me to drink any tea that's not right.
Oh, really?
I've been getting tea sick a lot.
The tea violence?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So, now, like, I realized that today actually, and so going forward, I'm gonna have to like drink it a lot slower, a lot more time. He goes pretty crazy and like hard and fast, but like, I still have to like dial it back myself.
So we'll show you maybe on the next episode. We'll definitely show on the next episode that I now I use 2 cups and small gaiwans a lot, and I'll pour from the gaiwan into the cup, and then from that cup into there. One, it cools it down a bit, and then I smell the cup for a while, like every sip. So it's like just doing that is adding a few minutes in between my steepings.
Oh yeah.
And it definitely, I've found that the slower you drink the tea, the better the chi develops.
Yeah.
And I've stopped drinking water while having tea because actually, steep by steep, the guaigan will actually, and the finish will actually develop in your mouth too.
Nice.
Well, what I'm realizing with taking my time with it too is like, when I'm not sipping it, it's not like I have nothing to do. What I can do is watch my body, like listen to the chi like go into my body while I'm just sitting waiting for like my next sip, right? It's not like I think it'll be interesting.
Crazy. So you little speed bumps for your tea drinking, right? The sippage and
So it is a beautiful color.
nice golden yellow.
Golden yellow spring morning. And again, if this was 10 years old, we'd be looking more like a red tea or a black tea out here in the West. You know, if this was 30, 40 years old, it would be like dark coffee color.
Right. Any idea where it was stored?
Jingu.
Jingu. Oh, okay.
Jingu. And then like if you buy a cake now, you'll be getting it from Kuming. So Jingu's a little bit more hot and humid for what I hear, what I've listened to Scott say on multiple videos. And then Kuming is more dry storage. I know my bedroom with the temperature on and a few water vessels out creating humidity actually is aging faster than Kuming.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
We got a speed.
Slightly.
Tea humidifier.
Slightly.
What do they call that? You said that there's certain things that you can keep tea in. What did you call it?
So people have created different ways of making self-contained storage for Pu'er, and they're calling them not a humidifier or a humidor, which is for cigars, but it's a pumador for Pu'ers. Oh yeah. And it's pretty much just like an airtight box that is food safe, that's not going to leach flavors and contaminants to your tea. Then they add heat, and I've been hearing they're using like these little moisture packet balls, and they just put them in. You can control it like that, but it's normally in really small things. So I think the possibility for air over 30 years or whatever is huge. Like mold could happen, things like that. I think the way I'm doing it in the room's pretty cool because it's like I'm not pushing it to the, like some people will say you gotta have 75 plus humidity. And you gotta be sitting at about 25, 26 Celsius.
Yeah. And these are the people like, weighing out every gram of tea too.
And
that's not my stuff.
And they're hooked on wet storage tea that comes from Guangdong and Hong Kong normally. So that's like a flavor and a culture belief system.
Yeah.
And then drier places like Kuming and most of Yunnan, they're drinking their tea all the time and storing their tea, and they're getting different effects, right? So there's going to be different philosophies depending on what teacher you studied under.
It's true. And isn't there like a problem if you don't have enough, kind of airing out airflow with Pu'er tea? It can get that fishiness to it too.
I think it does need airflow, but it doesn't. That's probably what I think. It's probably lesser on the tier, but it should just be no extremes, and then a set thing. I set mine. It sets anywhere from 22 degrees Celsius, and then anywhere from 44 to probably 60 humidity, and it's working really well. And I personally think that's a little bit wetter than considered dry storage. Other people would disagree, but hey, my tea is changing properly. And nice.
It's true.
Well, you know, it also takes a lot of spirituality, kind of training, kind of tea-like. And I'm surprised you don't see this next topic, drinking tea. Jedis.
Jedis.
And Herb's new comic book.
Oh,
which features Jedis. So do you
We
want to
actually
talk?
might, we,
That's a good point,
we might be able to put that on the
Oh,
thing, just put it on max and it'll heat up. So, thank you kindly. So comic books. I'm 36 years old. I was born in 1985. I kind of missed out on the comic craze. I didn't know where comic book store was. Like, stores were, like, I only really seen, like, Archie comics. And I got down on a couple, but whatever.
Yeah.
Wasn't, like, really my thing, right? Was more into toys, but you know, now it turns out that I think comic books are cool. I like reading, but you know, I like fantasy type novels, but they're a big investment. And comic books are kind of like picture books, and they're fun. And I think more people should be into them. You know, I'm okay to let my nerd flag fly today. And so my Star Wars comic, it's almost more of a graphic novel. I think that has to do with how many pages are in it. Maybe the material used for the cover.
oh. The Thinking Man's comic.
I have a question. What's
Okay.
the difference between a comic and a graphic?
I was just saying that.
Oh,
So they're thicker, and I think they have harder covers. Some comic book people might know more, but I think it is to do with like the size of it, because comic books have like a regular print size, and comic books, I guess, actually retail and hold their value way more. Like graphic novels, people are like, yeah, you might collect them, but if you collect actual real comics and they become, I don't know, worthy, they increase in value a lot. Anyways, fun to read, and I'm reading the High Republic of Star Wars. So this is, I think, 150 years or 200 years before Phantom Menace.
Okay.
And Yoda is in it, and there's major amounts of Jedis.
Right. I know Wool was in the comics. Did he get you into this?
No.
Okay.
No, Wool doesn't have a good pitch with anything. He's like, love Wool, but he's like, yeah, I'm into this, and it's really cool.
I just remember going to his house and he had like the bags and he was like bagging them.
Yeah. No pitch, though. They're in bags. And he's like, oh, you want to read what? They're in bags.
where were they in bags?
He was bagging them. He was.
That's when he had that bookshelf that was like on a lean. It was
Oh, yeah.
actually a hazard.
The
There's so
Leaning
many
Tower
books
of
on it.
books, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He reads really fast, right? If you just seen like those books, you'd be like, oh, this guy has so many books just to look smart.
Yeah.
But he actually does crush most of his books pretty quickly for what he's told us and what we're believing.
Right.
But yeah.
So how did you find this comic book? Where you were just
I
browsing?
got off the phone with her when I was downtown, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna look in the comics, right? And I had this little seed. Maybe I.
Were
could
you
get into-
nervous? You were nervous before going in?
Not
Did you
really,
feel
because they
out of
know me
place?
there. They know me because I buy like birthday presents and Christmas presents for my brother. I buy the toys there, so they know me there.
Because
Right.
your brother, he really likes.
Yeah, Evan's big into it.
He loves
yeah.
comics.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, that's not the reason. I just went in there because I could be missing out on stories. Continues of like Star Wars or things like that. So I was looking around and I was like, okay, so I'm kind of into Star Wars and I kind of want to like, and he's like, oh, do you want like adventures and little stuff? So I was like, I don't like that. I like to at least start somewhere. I need to start somewhere and it needs to be chronological and I would like to build. And he's like, oh, this book just came out.
Oh, cool.
And it's, the next book's coming in a couple weeks. I haven't finished it yet, but pretty badass. The main character is a female Jedi with a double green lightsaber, and her master lost an arm, and he's in some battle recently, and he's kind of going nuts. And he's like an Argonian, so maybe you could screenshot an Argonian so people know what that is.
Sure.
And he's starting to get angry, and it's like, possible that I don't know where it's gonna go, but he's getting angry. He has no arm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very
Star
excited
Wars.
for you.
Yeah, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Shout out comic book.
Nice.
I used to read, Calvin and Hobbes. Yeah.
Calvin.
Really good comic, but I read them all. Yeah,
wow.
at the mall. Did you ever read them? They're hilarious.
My friends were into comics, and
Hilarious.
maybe the ADD or just like how I was growing and what I was into at the time, like it almost felt like they were radioactive. I liked the pictures, but I like actual reading was like just don't.
Oh, okay.
So I really had a hard time. I really liked Magic Eye books growing up.
Oh yeah.
Those ones where you gotta go like this.
I could never get them.
It's because you gotta pull slow and get your eyes close, and then they go. And then there's a 3D image.
You would get them, and the instructions would be different.
Yeah.
On each one, and I could never get a hang of
They're
them.
really tricky.
I did it once, and I felt like I
broke something.
I was like, yes! I was so happy I finally saw something because I.
What show is that from? There's a show where someone trips on one of those forever, and he finds.
Is that Seinfeld?
I think it might be Seinfeld.
Might be.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think the water is nice.
The water is. Why don't we take a little break?
Do you want to break it
there
up?
is a flashing light. I don't know what that means.
All right, flashing light break.
We will be back.
Bye.
Oh, that's a good one.
Hey, hi. Hi.
Oh, we're back.
We're back. We'll let that sit a couple seconds longer. Yeah, so where were we, ladies and gents?
Well,
TEATOX. Huang Pian.
You know, the older we get, Herb, you know, we've been called dinosaurs.
Oh.
You know, I mean, we're old millennials, I guess, right? So, you guys had a good run-in with a dinosaur movie lately, didn't you?
We did.
The classic from the 90s.
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
By Bailey's request. Normally I'm the sci-fi guy. Normally like, I want to like a Star Wars, I want Dune, I want Willow. Star Wars, I want Dune, I want Willow. But but this time Bailey was like, actually, could we watch Jurassic Park?
That's a good impression.
Yeah. So tell us why this went down.
So recently, I forget what brought it on, but I've been getting into dinosaurs a lot lately, and I think it's like an underrated interest. Like you think anybody that likes dinosaurs is 2 years old, at least.
When I was 7, they were a big part of my life.
Oh yeah.
They helped me get through some tough times.
Oh yeah.
Oh, actually, I think what recently brought it on was I was like scrolling through TikTok, and they're like things that are bigger than you actually think, and they were comparing like dinosaurs to like how tall a building would be and stuff, and I was like, holy crap, could you imagine just like seeing that? Like you can't. And so then I've been looking at like pictures of dinosaurs a lot lately, and just like learning about them. Apparently a lot of them have feathers. Like they were very featherous.
Which I think makes them less cool.
No, but apparently it's like very colorful. They were all very colorful.
Yeah, but then they're just like giant birds. Like I like them. I like the Jurassic Park depiction when they're like scaly, like.
Yeah, but if they did have
birds,
feathers, it could point more in the whole dragon culture. Because I personally think that's where the idea of dragons came from.
Yeah, they found
dinosaur
dinosaur
bones, right?
Exactly.
Interesting, yeah.
So what would you guys rate the movie?
For a 90, it's heavy 90s, it's cringy, and the CGI is kaif, but it still gets you a bit, like the story, and like, you know, there's the music, and they got the old guy with his little mosquito sap stick, right?
Was
and
his name John Hammond?
I don't know, he's so passionate, he's so passionate, he's like, I'm watching.
He's a mad scientist.
He is, but like the nicest one. Like a male Golden Girls mad scientist.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. Like I was so happy to see dinosaurs wreaking havoc, and like I thought it was quite realistic. Like not the CGI parts, but the one where it's animatronic or whatever. Like the
robot.
The practical effects.
Yeah. And like for the time, I thought it was pretty good. You had to like suspend your belief a little bit for it sometimes, but whatever. Yeah, I thought it was like creepy and scary, and that's exactly how I'd want to see dinosaurs, like just gaining up on you, like getting closer and like freaky. Like it was scary. So I like that. The rest of it, like the acting and the
Jeff Goldblum.
he was funny.
Yeah.
He was crazy.
He does a really good job. He's a bit of a womanizer and a bit of a creepo.
Yeah, did you like him in his, like, kind of...
Yeah, that was great.
Oh my God.
We saw it, we were both like, yes.
That's famous,
Yeah. Cool.
Well, we love dinosaurs.
And we did a quiz.
We did a quiz. What dinosaur is we? I is...
Read
Should
the
we
thing.
go?
Read the thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see it. Read it. We'll find out.
So, drum roll. Velociraptor.
Oh.
Okay. Interesting.
You have an incredible sense of direction. You are not afraid to step into a fight, even if you're the one provoking it. You not only find it important, but necessary to travel in packs. You obtain a unique devotion to your friends and family, and only you are allowed to mess with them. You have a short temper, but you always know how to find a quick and ruthless revenge. And it's spelled, you are allowed like A-L-O-U-D, not allowed, so.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Velociraptor.
a play buzz quiz.
Yeah.
All right, Bailey.
So, before we move on, I think I wasn't expecting like that for you, but it is pretty like alpha aggressive type of dinosaur.
I think
small.
play buzz needs to
Figure it out.
step it up. I don't know.
Okay, so mine.
I don't think it's.
I am a Dilophosaurus.
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 That's the one in Jurassic Park. Yeah. Like,
Oh, the spitter.
that kills Newman, so I'm really
Yeah.
happy.
Nice.
Yeah.
You like to surround yourself in a calm atmosphere. You don't mind sitting back and watching your handiwork unfold. It's not that you're afraid of the occasional brawl, you just prefer not to. You're a quick thinker and you always seem to accurately predict others' decisions, which I think is pretty true. You are the, what does that say?
Epitome.
Epitome of genius.
Nice.
They call me a genius.
There you
Hell
go.
yeah.
Genius.
Nice.
I could also tell you Chamberlain's.
Let's hear Chambo.
Chambo.
Okay. I did one for Chamby, what I think he would answer. And he is a Stegosaurus. Which makes sense. His body looks like it.
And he does have a ridge. He has a stripe.
Yeah.
A bumpy stripe.
So he's a protector. You often attempt to avoid conflict with others and only engage if it's absolutely necessary. Your friends and family are important. True. And you would do anything to keep them safe. He would try.
He's
for
like
sure.
that, yeah.
You maintain a very zen-like nature.
For sure.
Then,
Yeah. I did pretty good.
That's
then
good.
I'll read it. I'll read mine. The way I would read it. Velociraptor.
Oh, yeah.
You have an incredible sense of direction. You're not afraid to step into a fight, even if you're the one provoking it. Not only find it important, but necessary to travel in packs.
Yes.
You obtain a unique devotion to your friends and family, and you are allowed to mess with them. You have a short temper, but you always know how to find a quick, ruthless revenge.
Yeah, there you go.
Oof! Oof!
Nice.
I don't agree with the fighting thing at all for you.
I pull back.
Yeah.
But you know, velociraptors, they stare at you with the eye, and then
Oh, yeah.
and then we kill.
Yeah, yeah, the claw.
Yeah.
The big claw.
They sandwich
Yeah.
by distraction.
Well, they were the best part of Jurassic Park, I think, right?
Hands down, they were like they could have put like all the testicles on the T-Rex, but they were like, nah, velociraptors are smarter, and they play on the T-Rex having a little peanut brain, and then velociraptors having more developed.
And the T-Rex isn't as quick and things, and
He's beast mode though.
it fucks
Oh,
shit
cool.
up though.
Well, another movie you
Movie.
guys saw, What was it called? It's called StarCrash.
Oh, I seen StarCrash. I was talking on the phone with you, and then I was trying to pick a movie in the flood of Tubby picks. It was bad. And
Right.
Bailey was supporting me during the death
On the phone because I was sick.
of my soul,
Yeah.
trying to find it. And then I found StarCrash, and I thought it might be the movie that I thought it was, and it was. It is a perfect rip-off, shitty clone-ish of Star Wars. It's amazing. So they got blasters, and they got a count, and he's like in dark, and he's a count. And they got some dude, he has like a fro, and he kind of looks like an alcoholic, and he's like the Luke Skywalker type. And he does bust out something like the Force, and then like 3/4 to the movie, you're like, maybe they won't. And then you know what? They did. Bang! Laser swords. Complete ripoff. Wow. It's sick.
And Hasselhoff's in it.
I don't even know if I seen the ending because I was like not doing the nodding. Oh yeah, David Hasselhoff. He comes in halfway and he's like kind of like a Han Solo. And yeah, it's great. Like such a ripoff. But I see maybe they made some cash.
Nice.
Like I don't know, when Avatar came out, if someone approached me, do you want to make like Galvatar? And here's like 50 G's, I would have done it. I would have ripped them right off.
Why not? It was the time, you know. Star Wars was big. We're just trying to cash in, you know.
Yeah, no, it's
Enemy
an
Mine.
movie. When did Star Wars come out
You guys see
again?
that?
Was it 78?
79. was
78
the
to
first.
83.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
When the trilogy came out.
When did StarCrash come out? That's StarCraft.
They're like, we don't know.
we-
StarCraft.
StarCrash?
They're like, we don't know, loser.
Is this David Hasselhoff again?
No one cares. No one cares. Stop Googling this, David. 1979.
It's like there's some lost years when I was hammered.
Dude, it's bad. I think he has some really cool like eyeshadow going on though.
Oh.
And it's weird. Like they rip off like hyperspace and everything, but instead of like actual technology graphics, it's just like they're like weird trip like it's nasty.
Did you guys ever see the first Dune
Yeah.
by David Lynch, the 83 one?
Like the original Dune.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
This makes Dune look like epic.
That Dune was cool. I like the it's not in the recent Dune, right? They have those like big like floating and like the tank guys. You remember that? And they like power the ships for light speed, and then they're like kind of these like manatee things.
Oh, yeah,
you remember
yeah.
that? They're pretty cool. And the Baron, he's all gross and disgusting.
Yeah, he's way grosser, the old Baron.
But he still floats.
Yeah.
And he like flies around the room. Why? I don't know. David Lynch, I guess. Well, anyway, speaking of David Lynch, I think he said the word Vancouver once. And that was where you guys are going. To see Daniel, the Tea Godfather.
Yeah, we're going to do a quick Daniel visit and then a dinner.
And it's your birthday.
Bailey's birthday. It's going to be a really quick little Vancouver thing because of budget and our plans, but it should be good. And we might find a tea to showcase on this show. And hopefully the one I got in mind is something I've never tried, and it might be quite epic. And
For our anniversary.
our anniversary, TEATOX anniversary. If you've been with us the whole time, then you're a champ.
Yeah.
And we love you.
Yeah.
And if you haven't subscribed or liked yet, then I take it back and you're a piece of
Yeah.
shit.
And I would say if you're watching all the way through, that means you're a fan, just like the person that made you
Oh, yes, we have fan art.
that. I did that.
Oh, we
Shout
got
out,
fans.
shout
Check
out.
this out.
People are sending us stuff, like money, and we encourage more
This is
money. Like
crazy.
just be
we
part
got
of the
a movie
art,
deal offer.
movie deal.
Jeez, David Lynch. Actually.
Google, Apple, they're fighting
Yeah.
right now for us.
David Lynch wants to do a biopic of our lives.
Yeah,
It's gonna be weird.
Elon Musk wanted to chip me already.
Did
I'm
he?
like, cool,
Yeah.
bro, whatever. What is it? Neuralincoln.
Neuralinks.
We got that.
Wow.
Got that.
Who will David Hasselhoff be playing?
Oh, he definitely you.
Yeah,
Definitely you. Who's me? Seth Rogen.
Yeah, actually. What about me?
Probably like who's the Harley Quinn girl?
Really? Robbie something?
Robbie Margot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Thanks.
There you go.
There you go. I like that. Yeah, so
Well-
that picture is epic, though. I think it
Yeah.
took my likeness. It actually turned me into a comic book Herb.
Yeah,
You know, the adventures of comic book Herb.
it's true.
Sipping tea.
Strong jawline on it.
Super strong jawline. It's like,
Is it
yeah.
accurate?
I don't know. It looks good. Like if I shaved it off. No, this is Matt and his jawline. He believes the hype of jawline.
Well,
He's
I have
Googled
no-
it too much.
I have no chin, so I mean it's like
No chin.
it's something I think about jawlines a lot.
I don't.
So
I don't. But
yeah,
it's a thing.
that's why I had a beard.
That was a good looking beard. We were revisiting, you know.
Was it?
TEATOX. It was cool.
I was watching some TEATOX. My beard looks pretty like wild.
I
Like,
think when it's long, it's good. When you
Yeah.
start doing the weird handlebars,
Yeah, that
pale
was-
skin. That
was a
sketch.
phase.
Yeah.
There'll
I
be
was
more
I was
phases.
young, you know.
There'll be many more phases with this show.
Yeah.
Like we've just started.
You know, what do you know when you're 33, right? You're just
Yeah.
a kid. You're just
Yeah.
figuring stuff out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We're figuring out tea. We're not professional.
We're doing our
but,
best.
You know, we're figuring this out. We're trying to share a little bit of what we've found out about this stuff and really express our growing passion for it. Mine's over the top, and this is definitely propagating in a good way. I'm creating tea disciples.
T-cycles.
Tea-cycling?
I'll put her there.
Bam. Oh, that's the way.